Welcome to MSG PM, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. My name is Kazim Famiwide, and you are checking out a game between the New York Knicks and the Memphis Grizzlies, where Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett each scored 20 points to stave off a furious comeback from those boys. So this episode is dedicated to the Young Bucks, and I'm not talking about Matt and Nick, but before we get into any of that, I gotta bring in my man with the numbers, the one and only Jeff Eisenband. Jeff, RJ Barrett and Immanuel Quickley were equally impressive this year, but RJ Barrett took that leap that you hope a sophomore that won 3 overall can take. Talk to me about the lefty from Canada.
Yeah, and you hope that he can continue to make that jump now in his 3rd season, right? He'd be a senior in college now. So he went from 14.3 points per game in his rookie season to 17.6 the next year. But the 3-point shooting is what people will look at. 32% from 3 to 40.1% from 3. He goes from 1.1 3-pointers per game to 1.7. And I think that's where there's going to be a concerted effort for the improvement of RJ Barrett, because if he's able to develop that range, that 3-point game, already with his ability to drive the basketball, he can really become a superstar in this league.
Yeah, let's hope he can, and he's projecting it that way as well. But he wasn't the only young buck that impressed Knicks fans this season. Immanuel Quickley, otherwise known as the precocious neophyte, according to our boy Walt Clyde Frazier, also had a very impressive rookie season with 11.4 points per game off the bench, 19 minutes a game in 61 games. He cooked in Summer League as well. Talk to me about that boy.
Yeah, you talk about that only 19.4 minutes per game. We haven't really seen an unleashed Immanuel Quickley. We saw it at points maybe in the playoffs when they really had to give him the opportunity, especially in some of those blowout games. But this is going to be a new Immanuel Quickley. And I look at the 3-point numbers, all right? 1.8 3-pointers per game last year for Immanuel Quickley. I think he has to shoot the basketball more. I think he will shoot the basketball more. And when you have guys like Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker and Julius Randle handling the basketball, it's got to be about IQ, playing a bit off the ball and getting open and making those shots. And that's where I think he can take a big jump to be a formidable, just a formidable player, not just a role player on this Knicks team.
And for as well as Immanuel Quickley played, a lot of times we kind of forget he wasn't the lottery pick that the Knicks drafted 8th overall that year. It was Obi Toppin. Obviously, with Julius Randle's incredible season, his minutes were a little bit up and down, but you saw exactly what he's capable of in this year's NBA Summer League. Talk to me about Obi, man.
Yeah, Obi, you can see he's playing with confidence right now in Summer League, right? You could see that he's playing with a little bit more defensive intensity on the defensive end, and that's important because Obi Toppin's got to find his way with this Knicks team. I think a player like Blake Griffin is someone who he should look after to potentially emulate his game inside and out defensively, and what we saw from Obi Toppin as the season went on is developing some range. And that's going to be so important. I sound like a broken record with RJ and IQ and Obi, but that's the modern NBA. If you're not a pure 7-foot center, you have to develop some range. And I think all 3 of those guys will take that jump from the outside this year.
Yeah, it's not hard to imagine all 3 of those guys continuing to improve from a range, especially if you saw RJ Barrett last year and Immanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin in the Summer League this year. But let's full screen me, producers, because we got some NBA Rookie of the Year odds I want to look at. Cade Cunningham tops the list at plus 260 for the Detroit Pistons. Jalen Green, the electrifying Houston Rocket, at plus 350. Jalen Suggs at plus 700. Evan Mobley for the Cleveland Cavaliers at plus 800. Alperen Sengun, that's 1,000 odds. And Scotty Barnes of the Toronto Raptors with plus 1,200. Out of all of these names, who do you think takes home the trophy?
I would have told you a month ago that this was a sucker pick, but I love Jalen Suggs here at plus 700 and getting to watch him in Summer League and I mean, everyone talked about him being NBA ready, and he is, and coming at it just from 1 year at Gonzaga and jumping in and playing on an Orlando Magic team that I think is going to give him the basketball and let him be a playmaker. I think Jalen Suggs from day one is the top rookie in this class.
I like Jalen Suggs a lot. Jalen Green, a bucket getter supreme. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities to shoot that pill for the Houston Rockets. So Don't be surprised if that dude gets some Rookie of the Year love as well. But the 2021 Knicks draft class is nothing to sneeze at as well. As you can see from the NBA Summer League, Quentin Grimes, Miles McBride, Rokas Jokubaitis, and Jericho Sims all made some noise down in Las Vegas. What did you see from those guys, Jeff?
Well, I'll start with Jericho Sims. That just took my breath away, seeing him as a high flyer, a guy that the Knicks steal in the second round and can do so much on both ends of the floor. And then Quentin Grimes is going to be the interesting one. I think Deuce McBride put up buckets, but Quentin Grimes, it goes back to what I just said about Jalen Suggs. You look for guys at certain points in the draft who are NBA ready. And I think the Knicks, we've gone up and down their roster. The Knicks want to compete this year, and I think Quentin Grimes in and fill that role again. Let me say it, Kaz, shooting, it's important.
Wait, so you're telling me shooting is important, Jeff? Are you sure? Are you positive?
I sound like a broken record AAU coach or NBA scout, but I think it's so important. And I think the Knicks, we've talked before, Kaz, the Knicks lost Reggie Bullock, who was actually averaged the most threes per game for the Knicks at 2.5 this year. So much shooting needs to be added and offense needs to be added for the Knicks. And that's what they did this offseason.
Well, Jeff, you love shooting. I love shooting. Knicks fans love shooting. So we're going to send them back to this game while IQ and RJ going off from deep against the Memphis Grizzlies. That's Jeff Eisenband. I'm Kazim Famiwide. This is MSG PM presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. Catch you later.